That's the type of dude she's used to dating.
That's what she wants. They missed on every couple but the one with the shoulders and the nice guy. I mean, and only reason why that works is because the nice guy is just looking for a girl to love him. I don't think he's really big on looks like that. And then Nicole, what's her name? Help me with these names again, y'all.
Nicole, you're right.
Nicole just wants
Yeah,
to be
I've been
loved.
calling her arm tattoo this whole time.
Yeah, I
I've been
call
calling
her
her arm
arms,
tattoo.
yeah, shoulders. So they're fine, but everybody else, like, why
He
would
has a
any of these
gymnast
couples?
build, C-Wave. Remember you told me. Gymnast, she has a
I
gymnast
just said
build.
shoulders. I didn't make a comment about what type of shoulders. I just said shoulders. But Nicole, none of the couples make sense, and they do this literally every single time. Honestly, they're lucky that McKinley likes the biracial girl, because I would never put a white dude with a girl that thick. Never. Never. I can say it, Sean. I'm just saying. They like thinner women most of the time. They're lucky. Maps is lucky he ain't say nothing about her yet. That's why she was triggered by what Clint said. I know we're gonna get to that later. But yeah, they tried it. They tried it on every single level. And Jasmine is a sweetheart. And I really wish that Aries liked her, but I understand some of the issues that he may have. So
All right,
And
T.
Chris
Let's
and
talk
Nicole
about.
ain't working either. And we're gonna they ain't doing nothing.
and why would Gina want Clint?
We don't know, but we're gonna move on. Okay, we're gonna move on to your favorite couple, guys. Okay, Aris and Jasmine. All right, they're gonna tell us a little bit about themselves. Okay.
Fall in love with me, but I don't know if that'll happen. So that worries me a little bit. But yeah.
I feel like it is gonna be a challenge, but like a good challenge. Like I would love to be somebody's first love. Like that would.
I mean, first of all, he said it incorrectly. I would love to be somebody's first love. No, sir. They're gonna be, you need to be someone's first love. But anyway, that's besides the point. So, obviously, Aris and Jasmine, your thoughts on this couple and what's going on right now? It's looking a bit mad right now. He said he's got an attraction level of 4 out of 10. But he did say earlier on that he found her attractive. He said she was attractive and she's all pageant beauty and this and that. And he ain't really feeling her that way. You know what I'm saying? But now it's starting to make a bit more sense. Honestly, I think he's got some issues. Okay, not maybe I shouldn't say issues, but there's something not quite right in the milk, as somebody would say, right? Because like I started piecing it together, I was like, oh wait, hold on. Downward dog. No, just bear with me now, guys. Bear with me now. Downward dog. Walk 3000. Feed me grapes. It's starting to give a bit of I don't want to see your face. I just want to hit from the back energy. It's starting to give that kind of energy. I started deepening it that this brother has intimacy issues because just I'm not even trying to make it's a gross part. It's the fact that the positions he chose and the behavior, then the grapes thing, and how he carries himself. He's looking. It's almost as if he's looking for a maid, a sexual maid. That's what he's looking for. That's what it's given. I just want a sex maid, and that's it. Because even the positions he chose were ones that don't involve face. I mean, so I started realizing that this brother here don't really. He got intimacy issues, and that was before he even really deeped Jasmine. So I think that's something a little bit deeper than just that he does not attracted to Jasmine. I think that it's the way he thinks about women. I think it's the way that he perceives intimacy and the way he perceives connecting with somebody. And maybe that's why that's why he's probably liking the fact he doesn't find her a little bit attractive. Maybe he wants to change, and maybe this is the only way. When you have to be forced to change, and I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do it. But yeah, the get on your knees situation too, like all that kind of stuff is very dominant, submissive energy, right? So yeah, it's looking a bit peak right now. Yeah, Crystal, go for it. You open your mic, go for it.
Yes, you definitely hit the nail on the head with this one. Speaking about the type of women that he thought had perfect butts was Serena Williams and Meg Thee Stallion. They were perfect to him. They weren't even his type or what he good looking, but they were perfect. He used the word perfect to him, and she's too thin and stuff like that. And he emphasized their butts. All of those things, I definitely think that he has issues with that. And I think the fact that she's not leaned into her more sexual side, and she really wants a loving connection and a lasting marriage with him, and she wants to, but she's picking up on it because she's starting to roll her eyes. She's like, he doesn't want to have these deep conversations, and it's really starting to get on her nerves. But all of these little sexual innuendos he's saying, all of he doesn't want to have these conversations. It's really bugging her, and it's really telling a lot about him, because even the guys blew up his spot when they were all in the group. They said, "Oh, are you told us that it was going to be immediate. You told us that she was my wife is preparing." I'm gonna get it wrong, y'all. My wife is preparing to do something. She's preparing for me or something like that. She's preparing for our sex, something. I can't remember the exact words he said, but all of these things that he's been saying, that's the real him. And I think that she's starting to get a little nervous, a little scared, and like, this guy is not right. He doesn't want a long time lasting relationship. And it's not, I don't even think that he considers her a 4 or 5. He knows that she's beautiful, but he's been attracted to, and honestly, it might be like a porn issue. Like, he's attracted to those video vixen, or that style, that look. And that's why he's single. I'm sorry, but that's so those relationships you haven't been able to keep. You've been able to what, have sex with them, hit it and quit it, and go. And she was like, I want to have a respectful conversation. And even in the dinner, she said, well, he said it's giving respectful. And she said, isn't that a good thing? And he said, well, what, he wants her to lean into the whole side of her. I was like, isn't this the 4th day y'all have talked? So she's really starting to deep it, as Kojo would say. She's starting to roll her eyes. But I got some smoke for her too. On this end, girl, if you don't, she's playing her hand, just as we were talking about, I was saying with, what's her name, with Kirsten. You have told this man that this is a lot of pressure because you've never fallen in love. I'm afraid, I'm scared. You've shown your vulnerable side to him, and now he knows that he can manipulate you, or he can shut it down. And I'm all about being given to your man and acts of service and stuff, but you've done all the massaging, you've done all of the feeding. Has he even fixed his mouth to suggest feeding you? Has he done any of that? And I think she's starting to deepen, and she's really starting to just like roll her eyes and get really, really frustrated. But yeah, there's something else here with Aries, that there's more going on. But I want her to stop harping on the fact that he hasn't fallen in love yet, and the why. Like, what else is going on? What stop bringing it up. Stop bringing it up, because he doesn't care about the bringing it up. He find out why, and why he keeps the Serena Williams, the Meg Thee Stallion, and thinking that that's perfect, and only looking at their butts, and talking about sex. It might be a porn issue. I don't know, but there's something else going on there. That's all for now.
Who's next? Who wants to tackle the Aries situation? Oh no, I haven't heard for you a long time, Onu. Go for it.
Aries is not helping himself. I think Aries is like emotionally delayed or relationship immature. You have to understand, he's like 39 going on 40. He's been in the streets for, let's say, since 23, 25 years. he's used to sexualizing everything, and like you just hear it from the beginning. Everything's about sex and sex and sex. He's just sexualizing everything, and I think it's now it's now rearing his ugly head when his conversations and how he's thinking and processing, and his taking time to think and process. And my main issue with him was, I think he was 2 years too soon to be on this show, because it looks like he just like a couple months ago was like, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm gonna read a help book. I'm gonna go to a couple therapy sessions, and then I'm gonna sign up for maths and try to do something entirely different. And now that you're hearing him, one, like I've never been in love situation, and how he's phrasing it, it's bad. It sounds bad, but when you dig deep into it, it's just like, he hasn't said he's never been in a relationship where he had to do or say any of these type of things, and now he's here, and now it's putting him in a situation where he can start manipulating, start lying, or start being something that he's not, but at least it's acknowledging what he isn't, and at least putting that at the front. So again, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. The problem is you're gonna have to go very, very slowly with this person, and he's gonna have to change exactly what he's saying, because what he's saying isn't catching. He's not catching up to his words, and now I see him processing these things. You would hope that this was happened a couple years ago before coming to the show, not 3 months or 1 week before going to the show. And if you remember at the bachelor party, he was just talking about breaking her back down. Like that was like a week before the wedding, and now he's here. So it's like the time he's going to need to deprogram and desensitize, and then to be able to have a current talk moving forward is going to be a key thing. I feel my issue with Jasmine, you don't want to pressure him into saying the I love you or validate what his actual feelings are to her too soon, because then that's the issue that you're going to have. Why is he saying these certain things? So she's going to have to process as it's slowing down, because again, that's what I'm hearing from his side of him processing all these things. And it's just like she says, she falls in love easily, that she gets in her emotions and she wants to get there. The question is, once you get there, you're going to be stuck there. He might not be there. If he's not there, he's saying he's never been there, but if he's not there and he can't reciprocate those things without going into the bad boy, player boy that he was, again, 4 or 5 months ago, that's going to be a tricky situation to deal with. And that's the thing that I fear the most. It'll be one thing if he hasn't acknowledged that, which at least he's acknowledged that. The problem is he doesn't have a track record of being the person he wants to be. And to me, that's the Aries issue that I have. Yes, it kind of toned down towards the end of this episode, but again, like, does he go back to sexual inquinatos in the next episode or the next couple of weeks, or is he able to, like, you know what, I'm gonna consciously move on to trying to figure exactly what I like about this person? Yes, Jasmine's a very attractive person, but there's different types of beauty, there's type of attractiveness, and he's probably never ever been in a situation where, you know what, I'm dealing with someone who is a goddess or someone I'm in awe of, but I don't know how to use my words and not make it a sexual topic or integrate a sexual situation. Because again, most of the time he's probably smashing within a week or so. And it's been 2 weeks now that he's trying to focus his brain, not do what it typically does. And he's making the comparisons, but at the same time, it's like he's not saying it to the other person, trying to break them down. So again, I want to give him some thought. I want to give him some grace right now. Be one thing if he's actually saying these things to her versus him just processing his brain. And that's like, we're kind of in between. Whereas with Clint, you see, like, he just kind of verbal diarrhea, just splitting out what he has to say, which I don't like. So that's where I'm at with Aries. But we have to see where this goes, because again, he's in this tricky situation that I believe in.
I would say, again, I think my main issue, like, he can be attracted to Jasmine or not. That's definitely the preference, but it's the behavior. And I think it's also, and we uncovered it, because after that first comment, I didn't, that he made about he wants her to be on her knees, right? That's he's going to tell her to drop to her knees if she, shows up to his room, and we got some flack, and rightfully so. and then we just see this continuum of really immature remarks. Now he's talking about, you know, blowing her back out or blowing somebody's back out. But the funny part is, this is what's really interesting, is that Jasmine almost seems like she's like, well, show me that energy, but you're doing all this talking, but there's no energy to match. So that's when I got a problem, because that's also a little gaslightish, right? Because you're doing more talking about what you can do than what you're doing. So I think when we as men go down that path of doing all this bravado and talking about what we're gonna do, we're gonna lay it down, you know, that's when, you know, sometimes you got to just walk the walk and let your efforts talk for you and not you talk for you. Because she's like, where that then? And the other part, I just feel so bad for her. When they were getting that couples massage, I was like, oh man, this poor girl. Like, she's just rubbing and touching on him, and she's like, this is the most we done touched each other. Meanwhile, he's just laying there. I'm like, yo, this lady is just giving it her all, and he's just there soaking it up. And that's the problem I have with him. It's like he thinks he's doing something by withholding sex or claiming to wait for the sex, but I don't think he's doing that really. It's just a smoke screen, because he's not sexually attracted to her. And it came up on the after party too, when he was talking with Keisha. So he's not sexually attracted to her. So all that other stuff that he's talking about, oh, I want to wait, I want to try things differently. No. You just aren't sexually attracted to her, buddy. And you just need to stay in that lane and stop doing all of this, you know, because if you was the real, you know, dude that was an F-boy slanging it in the streets, it wouldn't matter what Jasmine looked like. You would be like, let's get this popping to see if there's some chemistry here. But clearly, you want to make it about all these other things. And I think he's the rudest out of everybody. Gina annoyed me, but I think he's the rudest because he keeps making it about other things than what it is. And then he's not honest. And then he wants to soak up all her energy, right? Because what man doesn't love that? When a woman touches you, caters to you like that, but you're not reciprocating it and you don't know where you are. So I just, you know, Jasmine needs to pull back, and he needs to knock it off.
Yeah, I have a theory when it comes to Aries and Jasmine. Check this out. Remember we were talking I think it was last week or the week before, and we mentioned how Aries and Clint had recently been knocking boots up to 2 weeks before the show started, right? As recent as 2 weeks. So Aries hasn't had time to come out of F-boy mode or come out of the streets and all that. His mindset is still, man, like, if I like a girl, I'm gonna knock it down. If I don't like her, then I still knock it down, but I'm not gonna get too close. That's what it comes across to me. So he doesn't have the mature aspect coming into this marriage in the first place. Like, and I think the cues that he is giving Jasmine would work on some of the girls that he's dealt with previously, but they're not going to work with Jasmine because she's actually someone who's very attractive. She's very polished. She's a beauty pageant winner, which you also mentioned. That may be a factor as well. So I think like Aries is still in knocking the boots mode in the neighborhood, whatever he's done. He's never been in love before, and that was a sticking point for her. But again, if he is going to find love, what better place to find it than with his wife? I don't think it's going to happen, but just saying, like, he hasn't been in love before. That might be a red flag to some, but that means that there's an opportunity for him to find his first love at some point, and it could have been her. But yeah, he's used to dealing with a different type of lady than what he has on this show, and it's evident because all the downward dog and feed me and all these that might work in the hotel room or when you're linking each other at each other's house, but on this show where you're trying to do the marriage thing and you don't know each other and all that, he's struggling. And he, you know, if he rates her a 4 out of 10, that's very low in terms of attraction. All right. And considering she's won beauty contests before, then she's obviously appealing to most people. So there's obviously something wrong with how he sees her, right? So Jasmine as well, I did hear her say on this episode, you know, she's waiting for him to make the move to take them to bed and all that stuff. I don't think that's a good idea, because I think some other things need to be matching first before they just go, you know, and it's still early in the process, but I think it would ruin it if they had sex. It would blur the lines for the stuff that they actually need to get sorted out and worked on before they can have a serious relationship.
Now, JR, the only thing I'll disagree with is I don't think the beauty pageant qualifies her, because I done seen some beauty queens that might be somebody else's prize, but not everybody, you know. I think, but she is an attractive girl. I'm not saying she's not, but not because of the beauty pageant.
I hear that. No, not me personally either, but I'm just saying, like, she's won them pageants, so
I don't. Yeah, this is a thin line here. But I don't think that he thinks she's attractive, period, or sexually. I know that she's a beauty pageant winner. I just don't think that he thinks that she's attractive. And